2 weeks ago. Isger was not the most developed land in Aveston, and its capital, Elidir, was not the most prepossessing of cities. Still, Chilaxians considered it the one spark of actual civilization in this backward area, not least because of the Gyve. From the outside, the Gyve was a squat, unimpressive fortress. But, as with many things, what mattered most was unseen. Below the towers, the gallows, the slave market attached to it, below all of that were level under level of dungeons, brimming with Isger's worst sort. Bandits, killers, people who were a little too free with their opinions on the Chilaxian monarchy. Two forms walked through the dark of those dungeons, unbothered by the scent of sweat and rot that permeated the tunnels. The first had a bald head with a heavy beard and a belly that strained his guard's uniform. The second man was wrapped in a silver cloak trimmed in ermine. Prisoners shrank from the lantern in the heavy man's hand. The light was burning to eyes too long kept in darkness.
44, 45, 46.
He absentmindedly rapped the wooden butt of his mace on bars as he counted. The few that didn't flee the light fled the sound. They curled into the shadows of their cells in the vain hope that staying out of sight meant they would stay out of the torturer's mind. The lantern was hung at last beside the final cell.
47. That's it.
He jerked his bearded chin to indicate a form huddled in a back corner. With a nod from his slim companion, he expertly rolled the weapon in his fingers. The mace head made the rusted bars ring like a bell.
Out where we can see you, creature.
A voice slithered from the shadows.
Come down to take me to my hanging yourself, huh?
Long lavender limbs uncurled on the edge of the light. Yellow-green pus clung where the flesh was sliced and burnt.
Been so long. Thought you forgot about little old me.
The hobgoblin stepped fully into the light now. She bore the barest shreds of what had once been a fine linen tunic. Long notched ears twitched on a bald head. An old scar from an owlbear's attack decorated her face.
Once upon a time, he was after me day and night. Crushing and cutting, all obsessed with me. Then the judge says, guilty! And you vanish like a ghost. That's a fella for you. Soon as he got what he wants, he's gone.
Thin lips pulled back and a mirthless smile with a couple broken teeth to it.
Breaks a girl's heart, it does.
The mace rang against the bars again.
Show some respect, beast, or I'll...
All I want from you is one of us watching the other die. So either gives me a blade or gives me 13 turns and breathes under me feet.
Your smart mouth.
Fat man chambered his mace for another strike, but a well-manicured hand emerged from the silver cloak and stopped it with a touch. I shall handle the matter from here, Constable. The man carried himself with formality to match his refined Chilaxian accent. He turned to the prisoner. If you answer a few simple queries, I shall ensure that you are provided proper meat and ale ere you make your appointment with the gallows. A practiced smile spread over his clean-shaven face. I shan't imagine that you can find a more fair offer in your circumstances.
My. Ain't the little Lord Blackbeard got a tongue shiny as new mail?
She leaned toward him.
Here's your answer you've been looking for.
She spat a slimy glob of phlegm onto the fine cloth of his cloak.
Yeah, your papa should have pulled out.
How predictably droll. With an arcane twist to his fingers, the spittle vanished, leaving the garment dry and clean. The hobgoblin slunk back from that casual show of magic.
Who are you?
I am simply a man looking into a former business associate of mine. Now, were you ever acquainted with one Vars Lorraine? The hobgoblin's eyes narrowed. A smile returned to her thin lips.
Yeah, I know her. She taught me a little magic too. Taught me a word that'll make that door swing wide.
A magic hobgoblin. The man chuckled with earnest amusement into the back of his pale hand. Oh, very, very well, very well. I shall indulge, whatever is this word of yours. She leaned forward and whispered nice and slow. His face blanched, and smile vanished immediately. Who else knows?
Only me. A little old you.
Well, as I was saying, by my authority, the execution of Dimiri the Bloody Blades has been commuted to slavery, under my supervision, of course.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
The heavy jailer turned on him.
It was a couple coins for a couple minutes. You have no titles in Isger. You don't have the authority to...
A clinking money pouch was pushed into his thick hands, and he threw it to the ground without hesitation. Lucre spilled across the tunnel floor. And there, in the lantern light, the austere likeness of Queen Thrune herself stared up from silvery coins not made of silver.
Oh, is that platinum?
The guard murmured to himself. Platinum. He drew a hand over his sweaty pate. Eyes danced, counting the coins.
I...
A toothy grin spread in his black beard.
So, shall we backdate the paperwork, my lord?
Here goes nothing. Me. No, I'm just kidding.
Not least because of the Gyve. Outside, from the... Let's start that over from the beginning.
End scene.